Fearless Fundraisers, I'm Dawn Lego, and it's time to buckle up for a new episode of Raise Nation Radio, the one and only podcast made to inspire fundraisers like you, continue making impacts in our communities, building better tomorrows, and exchanging ideas. So whether you're a trailblazer or seasoned pro, you're going to pick up the trends that transform your fundraising. And together, we're diving into lively conversations. We're chatting with industry-leading fundraisers and thought leaders to explore the fundraising hot button issues and innovative ideas. So stay with us for the next 30 minutes while we inspire you to embrace the future of fundraising. Super excited to get going today. This is going to be such an interesting storyboard, and I just can't wait to hear it from soup to nuts. We have Julie Rutherford with us. She's the co-chair of special events for the Forest Hills Central Crew Team, and they're doing some pretty innovative and successful things for fundraising, and we are excited to hear all about it. Super, super excited to welcome Julie to Raise Nation Radio. Hi, Julie. How are you?
Hi, I'm great, Dawn. Thanks so much for inviting me to come on.
Oh, yeah. It's always great to hear somebody executing special events, because events have certainly transitioned and transformed and twisted in the past, couple of years. I've never seen such a transformation, but let's let our audience get to know you a little bit better, what you do, why you do it, like what's your why, and how you've come to Forest Hills, to the crew team, to helping them fundraise.
Sure. So my why is my children. I have 2 kids on the crew team. One just graduated, and we did unbelievable things this season. I attribute a lot of that to one cause with the team. And my other son is a freshman on the team. So really my theme this whole year has been only the best for my kids and their friends and their coaches and their friends' parents and families. So it has been a spectacular season with tons of things to celebrate. We just had our banquet last week, and it went on and on and on because there was just so much to celebrate and so much success that we had this year. It really could be named one of or the most successful crew season we've had since we started the team in 1995.
1995. And you're in the Michigan area, right?
We're on the west side of Michigan in Grand Rapids.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. And how popular is crew out there?
Well, it's interesting in Michigan. There's teams on the west side of the state and there's teams on the east side of the state. But as far as our school goes, we're actually the largest team in our school. We have 90 rowers on our team. And we also have, we could arguably say, the highest GPA of any team.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
We got some smart, cool kids on our team. And
athletics and A's, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Fantastic.
So we have a wonderful team. And I'd say we're one of the bigger teams, if not the biggest team on the west side of the state.
You have to be fit to row, don't you? Like really fit.
My youngest went from like little baby face, at the beginning of the season, like little chubby, to like just ripped and strong. And it has done amazing things for his confidence overall.
And the girls must be swarming then too. How does that make you feel?
Well, the cool thing about our team actually is that we are a co-ed team.
Oh,
so, yeah. And it's wonderful. So the girls and the guys actually, we travel together. They compete separately, but once in a while they do a mixed event. So that is something special and unique about our team. And this particular sport is they actually, we all, the men's and the women's team compete together in the same regattas. So actually, I really love it.
Yeah.
It's good for their social skills. It's good for my kids to see the strong girls, rowing and doing things like winning medals too. So a lot of the families and parents really love that aspect of our sport.
Yeah. It's such I'm with you. Regattas, I think, are just super cool and super cool to watch, to participate in, to cheer from the sidelines. That's really cool. So how did you get involved as in special events and chairing them? Are there that many special events to support their? I heard the sigh.
Yes, in fact, I was asked by my son's best friend's mom. She's on the boosters, and they needed someone to come on and help with special events for the team. We do a lot as the booster group for this team. We travel every single weekend. Last week, 2 weekends ago, we were in Canada. We were in New Jersey at Nationals.
Oh.
So yes.
We had nationals here in New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey.
Camden,
what part of New Jersey?
We were in Camden.
Camden. Okay. Yes. Wow. Yes. That's a little south from me.
Yep. And so, and that was an unexpected trip last minute. So we have a lot going on with the team, and primarily I was brought on to work on our auction, which we do every other year. But,
okay.
So I had never put an auction on. I had never worked on
one of our
auctions.
No. So you're not a fundraiser. You don't have a fundraising background.
I have a hospitality business background.
Okay.
And so, I was really comfortable with doing the banquet, with doing some of the other events, but the food portion, the serving part, all of that was very comfortable with. The fundraising side was all new to me, and it was so fun.
What we do for our kids.
I know, it really was. But
all right. So before we get into fundraising, could we get into why? Like, what's the impact? What does the crew team need and require that you need to do this fundraising? Like, why? Help us there.
Sure. Crew is not an inexpensive sport.
What sport is, though?
Right. Well, if you were to purchase brand new an 8-person boat, it would run you around $50,000.
Wait, what? Dial back, 50,000?
Yeah. Now, we don't purchase our boats new, but one of the amazing responsibilities that the athletes have in crew is to take care of this equipment, to use the equipment, and the boosters, we exist to help purchase the equipment. So this year, with our proceeds from not only the auction that we used One Cause for, but we also used One Cause for kind of a brand new idea. We did a row-a-thon. We were able to purchase 2 new boats.
Oh, congratulations. That's new. Oh, wow.
Well, 2 new to us. They were new to us, but even so, they were really not in the cards for us. We really didn't know that we were going to, raise the kind of money that we did. And in addition to buying the boats, we need equipment for the boathouse. We have oars, we have shoes, we have travel needs, we have indoor rowers that are not cheap. They're over $1,000 a piece, and we do an indoor event. So we need 25 of those, and some of those are aging. We travel. We have lots and lots of needs for fundraising. It takes a lot to do especially a spring season. So all kinds of things.
Okay, I get it. I'm with you now. I mean, most sports are pretty expensive, but this one sounds like you're tipping the scale a little bit. So at $50,000 boats, I mean, you can't just buy a boat and be done, right? There's a lot more that goes with it. Okay, so now I understand the need. So now let's get to the fundraising, because you've been pretty successful, and it's certainly not easy to be successful with all the changes and transformations coming out of COVID. I would know, not only am I in the fundraising industry, having been with One Cause for, over a decade, but I do run a small nonprofit with my daughter that she started when she was young. And we're a little paralyzed. I have to admit, we're a little bit paralyzed. So
sure.
Here you are, new to fundraising. I just want to set the stage here. New to fundraising. You're not going to, sell cookies and raise the money that you need to buy things to the tune of $50,000. So you have to do something big. It's go big or go home. And you need to do some fundraising. So you landed on an auction. Is that right? Tell us all about that.
Yeah, that's right. As I said before, I was invited to come on and help with the auction. And in the past, we had done pen and paper. So I was given a bunch of.
Did I just hear that? La 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 la.
Really? So we run this auction every other year. So the year I came on was a non-auction year.
Okay.
The date of the auction,
which was what year? That was 2021 then, or?
Yes.
Got it.
So,
okay.
And so we had our last auction was probably the last event of 2020. It was in February 2020.
Oh my God. You skated by, didn't you?
Yes,
okay, good.
So I was not on the board yet. And so I didn't even attend that auction. All I knew about the auction was the the pile of pen and paper remnants from February 2020. And so I was actually sitting around with my family one night. My brother-in-law works for an event company here in Grand Rapids, and I was expressing my concern about COVID and what would happen is if we started to plan this. I mean, it was probably 9 months out. I said to many people I could have had a baby in the time that we birthed this auction. But so, we were still really concerned that we weren't even going to be able to have this in person. And he had seen a lot of huge events. And he said, have you explored the idea of just doing this online? I said, no, I never thought of it. And so that's kind of where that all started with the software.
How did you come to meet One Cause?
Shopping on the internet.
No.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not. And, I talked to a lot of different companies. And by the time I came to you guys, it was Brad that I met with.
Brad Ring?
Yeah. And by the time I met with him, I knew the questions to ask because quite honestly,
good for you. Good.
I didn't even know what we were looking for, how much we needed, how little we needed. It kind of wasn't in our budget to purchase software at that time. It was a risk we took. But the board agreed and voted on doing it because we really struggled with the idea of asking for donations for an event that may not happen from local businesses and parents.
Fair. Yeah.
So, we took a chance. We had a board meeting, everyone voted on it, and we went ahead with One Cause. And, the one thing that sold me on One Cause, we fondly call One Cause OC for short.
Oh, okay. I like that.
It's faster to type it and say it. So
we actually have T-shirts at One Cause. We did a company meeting and we went to a concert together, and we actually have T-shirts that say, I think OCAC, instead of something like that. Yeah. And so we refer to ourselves as OC as well. So it's all good.
Yeah, it was just a shorthand for talking about the software so much.
Yeah.
But we took a chance on it. And when I met with Brad, he really, really stressed how well you do with your help desk for the do-it-yourselfers, which we decided to do that. That's all we could afford. And boy, was he right.
Good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, if there's one compliment I could give One Cause, it's the people on the help desk. I couldn't have done it without them. So, I mean, they were there for me. They helped me. They sent me emails. They followed up with me. They'd pick up right away. I mean, it was fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, tell us what you did. What? I mean, with not really having, you didn't even have the benefit of seeing the last auction in February 2020. So you weren't even an innocent bystander at that point. Didn't have a fundraising background, right? You did all your research on the internet. I want to hear what you did. Tell us the story.
Yeah. So, we just kind of dug right in. I started playing around with the software and thinking ahead, way, way back in the summer of 2021 about the auction. And then we had a board meeting, and Coach came to the board meeting and said, hey, I have this fundraising idea. And this was...
Here we go.
Yeah. And we all said, here we go. But, we had some needs that we had to address before we got to February. So he said, I've been talking to these other coaches, and a lot of these other teams do this thing called a rowathon. And I'd like to put one on and see what we could do with it. And essentially what we did was we were at a brewery. It was pretty darn cool. And we had the kids, in a way it was pledges from friends and family for the kids to get on the indoor rowers lined up outside. It was a beautiful day. And they rowed the virtual distance of the distance from here on the west side of the state on the Grand River over to the east side of the state.
Wait, what? What did they do?
In teams.
Okay, wait. I heard you lost me at brewery. Okay, so wait, one more time. I need to hear that one more time.
All right. So we were at a brewery. We lined up all the indoor rowers outside.
Got it.
And we created teams. So we had 7 teams. We named them after our actual boats that the kids row in.
Got it.
During the season. And they worked together to raise money by asking friends and family to donate to them, sort of like a pledge.
Got it.
That they were going to, as a team, row the distance from here on the west side of Michigan to the east side of Michigan on the Grand River, which is the river that we practice and compete on here on the west side of the state.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So this started to come together. And originally, because we didn't really have a whole lot of time, we thought we'd just do, checks and Venmo and things like that for donations.
Okay.
And I went home and thought, this is the perfect opportunity to do a little practice run with One Cause and use One Cause for this event before we do the big event, the auction. So this event was in November. The auction was in February. So it was actually just 90 days before our auction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had a meeting. We had a group meeting with Missy.
Oh, I love Missy. Yes. Shout out to Missy.
Yeah. Shout out to her because she really kind of helped us find a way that we could kind of customize the auction software to and use it for the rowathon.
Okay. So did you leverage like fixed price items?
Yep.
And each of the fixed priced items probably was the name of the team, the boat, after the boat.
You got it.
And so it was a little competitive.
It was hugely competitive.
Oh, not a little. Okay.
Oh, the kids, the winning prize for the team that raised the most money is they got their name on our team trailer. Our team trailer goes everywhere with us. So we put a decal of the list of the team that won the 2021 rowathon for the whole season. They get bragging rights that they won.
Sounds like you really developed a community out of this.
The kids loved it. They started making posters that had, we have a boat called the Power Rangers, and they were making posters with the Power Rangers holding crew, rowing our oars, and telling people about this and hanging them up. And the kids love it because they're so comfortable with technology that, I went to the boathouse one day, explained how to do it. They're like, oh yeah, we got this.
Got it.
And then they just started asking their friends and family all over the country for donations and pledges for their teams. And that's
what's good about the software, because you can, if you have an aunt in Florida and you're from Michigan, you can call that aunt and say, go here and give me $20.
Yes. And what we found is we felt like when people donate online, they usually don't. We found they weren't donating any less than $20. If we went door to door, someone wrote a check, they may give you 10 or something like that. But there's something about donating online where just $20 seemed like the number or more. Mm-hmm. We were able to use, the features to put certain amounts on options of, different amounts on the donation page. But boy, the kids really got into it. And it was a real team building thing for the kids. So they had a lot of fun. And we actually utilized the scoreboard. We set up a TV and
in the brewery?
Yeah, outside. Yeah, I just kind of last minute. I mean, this really all it was the most creative. Dawn, this is the most creative, cool fundraiser I've ever seen or event I've ever been a part of. It just all came together so well. So the parents got into it. They were just on their phones, last minute in front of this scoreboard that we had set up. And, it had all of the boats displayed on the scoreboard. And within the last, I'd say 5 minutes, because, we did a countdown and an end time, we raised an additional $4,000.
In the last few minutes?
Yes, because all of these parents were just so into it. They just wanted their kids' team to win. So they're all standing there with their cell phones. It was very exciting.
Do you have pictures and videos?
Oh, yeah, we have all kinds of things.
Oh my gosh. And it's funny because it is highly creative and it's absolutely community team building.
Yes.
It's competitive, but there's some simplicity to it as well, right?
It was so simple.
Simple. Right. Yeah. There's definitely some simplicity here. It wasn't,
Absolutely.
You didn't have 100 different things going on. And, it was just, this is what we're going to do. 7 teams, go for it. Wow.
So Coach had set a goal of $8,000. We had about 80 kids in the fall for our fall season participating. We had 80 kids show up to the fundraiser. So he said, if we can get $8,000, we can buy this particular used boat. It was about that much money. We ended up raising $34,000. And for our team, that is so much money in one certain fundraiser.
Oh my God. You don't hear anything coming out of my mouth because I got the O mouth right now.
Well, that's kind of how we all were looking that day. Needless to say, Coach was really happy.
Wow. Yeah. And now you have ROI for the technology acquisition too.
Sure.
Because you got two bangs for the buck there. So, that's awesome, but it's done a lot, hasn't it? It's probably really bonded the team, built the community, and just how rewarding for everyone to be part of something greater than themselves, really.
And since it was the parents had fun, the kids had fun, since it was such a fun, successful event, we had everyone, quote unquote, trained up on how to use the software for the auction. So it was, it really set us up in this wonderful place. Yeah. It really teed us up.
Not to cross-reference another sport, not to bring golf into it, but I didn't know what crew team to use, crew term to use.
Yes. So we set
and then it got everybody excited.
Yeah.
So the rowathon, is that going to be annual now? I mean, for sure.
Yeah, it is. For sure.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that one stuck. And we had such a success. It was a beautiful, simplistic but effective and fun day. That's an annual one. That's an annual one. We will just absolutely use the software for it.
We just met with a fundraising consultant and Robin Thompson, and her episode will be on Raise Nation Radio coming up soon. And that's her number one, her mantra. She's like, you know what? You got to make it fun somehow, some way, do something, anything just to make it fun. It sounds like that's exactly what you did, and maybe even fell into it. So good for you. Congratulations. Yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah, but now take me through. So November happens, right? Yep. Everybody's like, wow, this stuff's cool. We like it. We built a community, more awareness. You go through the holidays, boom. February hits. Tell me about the auction.
Yeah, the auction was amazing. We exceeded our goal for fundraising for money raised. We set this pie in the sky goal, and for our team, $20,000 and $20,220 is what pie in the sky. We just threw this out there. This is what we wanted to
for 2022
for 2020 or for the auction.
But you parlayed the year into your theme, right? Is that right? You got it. Okay.
And, this was real pie in the sky. That was more than twice as much as we've ever raised at an auction before. And we raised more than $20,000 at our auction. So, I mean, that was just amazing. But
was it online, or did you end up being in person?
We ended up being in person after all of that.
Yeah.
But the benefits of the online auction, I was prepping for our conversation today, and I have pages of things that we loved about the fact that we were online and we had this sort of hybrid event.
Tell us. And you know why, especially to all of our listeners, maybe perk up just a little bit, because we are talking about a smaller, nonprofit organization, right? I was on the new business development for a decade at One Cause before I moved over here to brand engagement and marketing, which is really where I want to be, in my home and my love. But, many times we're talking to nonprofits, and there's that immediate, maybe sense that technology is not for me, right? It's for the larger mega national groups that you can't achieve ROI. You hear, XYZ price point, and when you have an $8,000 goal, you certainly don't want 20% of it, 10% of it going to a technology acquisition, but you're definitely a poster case for, even for the small nonprofit. So I think it's great testimony, and I'm glad that we have your voice on Raise Nation Radio for the audience to hear that. But tell us what you loved. What are all the things that you loved?
Well, before I get into that, if you rewind back, every year we do a Christmas tree pickup. The kids go out, and we usually raise about $1,000 a year. Just the kids go out right after Christmas time, and people, fill out a pen and paper, sign up, and we'll come by and pick up your Christmas tree and dispose of it for you so you don't have to. And, it's just a smaller fundraiser for the year. Mm-hmm. We ended up throwing that on One Cause too.
Oh,
yeah. Just why not? We had such
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Go you.
We said, well, let's give it a try. And I think more than half of our reservations were made through that. And, the awesome thing is now we've captured all of the emails, all of the contact information for the people for next year that we can go and reach out and say, hey, we're doing this again.
Great.
So, we found
I just got chills.
Yeah,
I'm so very proud of you.
Ways, big and small for our team and our nonprofit to utilize the software. We just really feel like keep driving people back to that software. The more people that give to our team that go back to One Cause and get used to using it, and we're capturing all of that good data. It just helps us more and more too. So, but yeah, we loved the features and the benefits of the software for the auction. It was amazing. The reports for our treasurer compared to pen and paper, crazy.
Okay, check. We made the treasurer happy.
Made her happy, made me happy, because at any time throughout the planning, we could see where we were at with ticket sales, with all of our donations. We really kept up with, loading those into the software as we received them. So, kind of making sure, keeping our inventory straight was huge. We were able to, sell sponsor tables and sell the tickets. We did a right online. That was helpful. We had the option to ask, what year is your rower? So that helped us with seating, when they were purchasing their tickets. So
you have like affinity groups.
Yeah, I was able to, put the sophomore parents with the sophomore parents. We were able to do a lot more for our sponsors. We had them up on the screen all night, kind of casting through, and we put them on our Giving Center page. That was something we could, tell the sponsors that we were going to offer with their sponsorships.
Something new, something a little bit that they haven't had before, a little more exposure.
Logos, way more exposure than we've been able to offer in the past. The live auction was really exciting. We had all of the information up on the screen, and, I was able to just kind of sit there and scroll through as Coach was up. He was our,
MC,
our auctioneer.
Yeah.
Yeah, people loved bidding from their phones. We had no idea what to expect for that. I had some people that were worried that we were all just going to sit and stare at our cell phones the whole event. It was not that way at all. People absolutely loved it. It was well,
at least if they're staring at their cell phones, they weren't on Facebook or texting, right? At least they were doing some fundraising.
But people had so much fun. We had such great feedback from the experience and the technology. Even the event planner at the hotel where we hosted the event was blown away. She could not believe this. She had never seen such a thing. And, I just can't tell you how many people said, this is just so slick. It's so slick.
I'm glad.
Yeah. We were able to put the links in our constant contacts, to go right to the ticket sales or right to a donation. if someone sent me a donation, if it was a business or an individual, after I would upload the pictures and put the description on, I would utilize that direct link to the item and send it back to them to keep driving people to the software, even the parents. So the parents kept coming back to the software, and, they were going to be the ones that were going to end up bidding on things the night of the event, if they were there or if they were at home. Mm-hmm. Some really cool things that happened, though. We had a Saturday pickup for the people that
couldn't be there.
Attend, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of surprising. We ended up connecting with a bunch of alumni. And so we didn't expect this. So we had alumni parents sitting at home. Maybe they weren't going to attend the event because their kids had graduated, but they still wanted to support the team, and they'd come pick all of their things up on Saturday. And this year we had just started a new alumni club. So that gives us an opportunity next time we have the auction to kind of help develop our alumni club a little bit more on the Saturday pickup. It was really a neat connection that we made with some people that we could tap into for fundraising, really, that it's an untapped group of people that we've really never reached out to until this year. So that was really fun.
Sure. Alumni have pride, and they want to still be connected. And, I get a newsletter from my husband's university, even my daughter who just graduated high school. Mm-hmm. I have been to football games by myself this year, because we still want to be connected. So it's awesome that you can build that database and those connections. Yeah,
we loved the buy now button. We did really well with the buy now.
How did you set your price? 200%, 150%? Like what overvalue did you go with?
We were 200%.
Got it.
And I have a story about one of the dads on the crew team is an artist, and he did a beautiful painting of the Grand River and boats on the Grand River. And there was one mom that she's like, that thing is mine. I am buying it. They did the buy now, like right when she walked in the door. And, that was done. But now, because of that, we're thinking that
you better start painting for next year.
Well, we're going to do a spin-off auction on print with prints of that painting because it was so popular.
I love that everything that happened, you turned it into another creative idea for future fundraising. Like that's brilliant, right? You didn't just rest on your laurels and say, oh, wow, that painting was nice. It went fast. Buy now. Yay, go us. Okay. What's next? You actually this is hot. What else can we do with it? I love that about you guys. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And the whole board, got so excited. And I think one really interesting thing with One Cause is it just kind of got us thinking outside the box with things. This was something new we were trying. And so we ended up trying all kinds of things, even without the software, that I'm not sure as far as fundraising goes, that we would have even thought to try. It just gave everyone permission to really try some new stuff. We sold jewelry at one of the our home regatta. It was just, people were just excited about fundraising. We were successful. We were just on a roll. And so we just really kept on just doing more and more outside the box things.
Wow. I'm so proud of you guys.
Thanks. I am too. I'm very proud of,
So how much longer do you have as co-chair? So your youngest is a freshman. So do you have 4 more years? Will you stay as co-chair?
He's a rising sophomore.
Okay. Yeah. So 3 more years.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And we, that's the other thing, you kind of made me think this as you're saying that the next person that I hand this off to isn't, as far as the chair of the auction, it's going to be so easy for them. We've already done the trailblazing with the software. They can step into the software and everything's organized. Everything's right there for them. They can see what was successful and what didn't work. And we can just hone this in now. And instead of, like me, I inherited crates of old papers, pens that didn't work. It feels good to.
Well, there's a new case for One Cause. The pens don't work.
Yeah, the next, and because turnover every year. We graduated, I think, 6
That's hard. That's definitely hard for development.
That's the part of the way our nonprofit works, just the nature of it, because, parents graduate their kids and then we bring somebody new in. So to be able to pass this on to someone, I feel really good about it. You could show them how it works and it's all right there at their fingertips.
A little bit of a legacy you're leaving. Yeah. Yeah. So where's your oldest? Where's your graduate? What's going on?
Okay. So I know we're not doing a video, but I set up a little picture and display behind me of all of their accomplishments this year. He made it to nationals this year, his men's varsity 4-boat. And we took 3 boats to nationals. We medaled.
How do you take a boat to now? Like, am I visioning this right?
Yeah.
Do you strap it on your back? Like, where does the boat go? What
on
is
a
you
boat
tow
trailer?
It? Oh my God! Who drives that? Who drives it?
Usually our coach does.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, we had to collaborate with some other teams. We just didn't expect we were going to do so well. Season. I know my son didn't. It was shocking. He also medaled at what sometimes they call the Canadian nationals in St. Catharines, Ontario, which is a huge regatta. We did better than we've ever done this year. And I attribute the fundraising is very much connected to the fact that our team was, probably one of the best teams we've had to date. The enthusiasm, the boat that we were able to raise money to buy at the rowathon went to nationals. Oh. And my son was able to row it.
Again, you're giving me chills. And I've been in fundraising for a long time, but I just love the connection, the community, the athletes, the creativity, how you've connected the dots.
Yep. That 4-boat, we dedicated to our head coach. It has his name on it. And he went into the Cooper River there in New Jersey, with his boat that was dedicated to him, and all because we were able to make so much money with, the rowathon, and then in 90 days later, the auction.
Yeah. That's fantastic. I hope you keep going. Can we do a shout out to your co-chair? So it's yourself and who chairs with you?
Yep. Her name is Jill Hahn. And
shout out to Jill.
Could not have done it without Jill. She was the calm, stable one of the two of us. And
you sound pretty calm and stable too.
Oh yeah. But if you
let's shout out to your 2 sons, first names only. What is your oldest, your graduate?
That his name is Tommy.
Oh, my husband is Tommy.
Yeah.
And your younger?
Jack.
Tommy and Jack. Oh, congratulations to them too. So what would you say in one word or phrase, what would you contribute the success? And don't say one cause, because we so appreciate your endorsement.
Sure.
But what, outside of that, outside of the software, what do you attribute to your overwhelming success?
Enthusiasm, creativity, and, taking a risk.
Being fearless.
Yeah. Our theme for the auction was the water is calling and we must row.
Okay, wait. The water is calling and we must row.
The water is calling and we must row. It's kind of a spin-off on a John Muir quote, the mountains are calling and I must go.
And yes, I know that quote. It didn't hit me right away. Thank you.
It was, it became sort of like a battle cry. We put it on our t-shirts. I think not only for the rowers, but for the board. And, it was just march onward, just keep going,
you guys
keep this thing going.
So creative.
Yes.
What would you like to see? If you can say one thing to, the people that follow you, right? What do you want to see happen? And what would you tell them?
Keep going. Well, thank you. Thank you for all of the hard work. We were affectionately called a unicorn board by one of our board members.
Okay.
Because, all of the parents were just so awesome and put in so much time, and they have huge hearts. And all of that trickled over into, I think, the kids and their enthusiasm for the season. So, I mean, we trailblazed this year. When you said in the intro, trailblazing, that was our year. Now that my oldest went to nationals, my youngest is planning on going.
That's it, right? There's no other option.
No,
yeah.
It's, I told Tommy, you're paving the way for your brother. And now that it's been done, it's been proven that it's been done. We'll keep going, so take the baton and run, keep going. The water is calling and You've got to do it. You've got to row. All the kids are so passionate about.
Do you row? Is there any rowing at post graduation, post high school, or?
My son's going to business school, and it was really bittersweet when we were in Canada to see him. He climbed up on the grandstands, got a bronze medal, and it was, lots of tears because he sure did a lot with his very short career and crew. So my youngest son, the story's still yet to be told.
Well, on that note, I'm going to have to ask you to come. I was wondering if we could, right before Rowathon, if we can have you back and maybe have some of the students, because it would be nice to hear from their perspective going into like this next year to, you've just been so incredibly inspiring, really, because to talk about a can-do attitude. I mean, you've got that and more. And to just hear let the story continue and to hear some of the students. I would love that. Would you love to come back? I hope you say yes.
The kids, absolutely. I know the kids would love to talk about their sport. They're all so passionate about it. And absolutely. We'll get them
that
on.
Would be great. Well, this was an exciting story. I think we're kind of at time right now because most people listen to Raise Nation Radio when in half-hour segments when they're getting that workout in or the drive, to maybe crew practice or football practice. And so I think we'll just let the story continue and we'll have to have you back. But it was so delightful. I just love hearing the energy, the attitude, the creativity, and the community that you've built. Truly, congratulations. Big shout out to Jill, your co-chair, and Tommy and Jack and all their teammates. I wish we had time to give a shout out to all of them, but maybe we'll get a couple of them back the next time around. So Fearless Fundraisers, that's about all we have time for today. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's Raise Nation Radio topic and the daily dose of fundraising inspiration. Tune in for a new episode release every Thursday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Thursdays, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But in the meantime, be sure to listen to all the episodes on Raise Nation Radio. Follow the channel that you like best. We stream on 11 channels and on demand at onecause.com. Fundraisers, as you just heard, are doing amazing and creative and inspiring things to build better tomorrows for their communities and to buy $50,000 boats for their crew teams. Stories are awe-inspiring. You don't want to miss a single episode. I'd like to thank our sponsor, One Cause, for making this episode possible. One Cause is driving the future of fundraising with easy-to-use software solutions that help nonprofits connect with donors and their communities. Be sure to check us out at onecause.com. Visit the resource tab on the homepage for a broad catalog of ebooks and infographics and blogs and Raise Nation Radio. I'm sure you'll find it helpful. A huge, huge, huge shout out to my guest, Julie, the co-chair of Forest Hills Central Crew Team, co-chair of Special Events, who did an amazing job and deserves all the accolades this year. Thank you so much for being with us. And congratulations to Tommy and Jack. Any last words of inspiration for our Fearless Fundraising audience?
Just like I said, just keep going. Allow those creative juices to keep flowing and give something new a try.
And you sure did that. And then some, for sure. Well, thank you again so much. This is a wrap. Until next time, I am Dawn Lego. This is Raise Nation Radio, and stay fearless out there.